Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haziq bin Muhammad Haikal. Next.
And my name is Muhammad Izzahan bin Muhammad Nizam.
My name is Muhammad Saiful Izzat bin Abdul Razak.
And my name is Nur Shazwani binti Ismail.
My name is Muhammad Ismail Daniel bin Muhammad Asri.
So today we are going to present the case study chapter 7. Question 1. Why was the Tony Motor told to remove the word UGG from his window? Okay, the first point is Deckers Outdoor Corporation, a California-based multinational, owns the trademark. Deckers purchased UGG Holding in 1995, a firm that had been selling sheepskin boots under the UGG moniker since 1970. The second point is wanted to stop using the UGG in advertising his business. He cannot longer sell UGG footwear online marketplace eBay. The last one is the many Australian businesses could be put out of the business if Deckers is successful in enforcing its trademark. But if the court side with the Australian firm, it might open the door for other businesses to register trademark using a generic word. Question 2. What is the intellectual property in this case? UGG is protecting its trademark for the word UGG as intellectual property. A trademark is any sign of combination of signs used to differentiate one party goods or services from those of others. The second point is Tony Morton from 7 generations and for the last 45 years his family has making UGG. The third point is in 1979, Brian in New York set up UGG Holding, registered UGG trademark in 25 countries in 1985, is sold to Deckers.
Okay, so as for question 3, why have problems with the use of the word UGG only recently come to a head? So the problems with the use of the word UGG have only recently come to a head in Tony Motel's case study due to several factors. One of the main reasons why this issue has gained attention is the legal battle over the trademark for the term UGG in 1971. An Australian sufferer named Shane Stedman registered the trademark UGG in Australia. However, in the 1980s, an American company called Deckers Outdoor Corporation acquired the trademark rights for UGG in several countries. The controversy surrounding the trademark status of UGG intensified when Australian manufacturers and retailers started facing legal challenges from Deckers. Many argued that UGG is a generic term that should not be subject to trademark protection. Another factor contributing to the recent attention on this issue is the rise of social media and online platforms. With the advent of platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, information spreads rapidly and reaches a wider audience. Furthermore, the increased focus on cultural appropriation and the protection of indigenous knowledge and intellectual property has also played a role in bringing the problems with the use of UGG to a head. Next. So question 4, how can Deckers instruct Australian manufacturers to stop using the name UGG? In order for Deckers instruct Australian manufacturers to stop using the name UGG in Tony Motel's case study, they will need to take several steps. So the first steps is trademark protection. Deckers will need to establish that they have valid trademark rights in the name of UGG. The second point, cease and desist letter. Once Deckers has established their trademark rights, they can send a cease and desist letter to the Australian manufacturers. Next one is legal action. If the Australian manufacturers do not comply with the cease and desist letter, Deckers may choose to pursue legal action against them. As for injunction, as part of their legal action, Deckers may seek an injunction from the court. The last point is enforcement. Once Deckers has obtained a court order to settlement agreement prohibiting the Australian manufacturers from using the name UGG. Done.
So I will continue with my part. Question 5. In what ways has the internet affected the trademark? Okay, right. The first one is impact of the internet global reach on matter pertaining to trademark conflict, brand awareness, and the management of innovation. The internet allow UGG board to transcend geographical boundaries and gain a worldwide following. Companies leverage online platform to reach a global audience quickly, leading to increased brand awareness. However, this also exposed brand to international trademark dispute, as the UGG demonstrate. But the second one is amplify the potential for the global trademark challenge faced by the brand. The proliferation of online sale platforms such as eBay play a significant role in facilitating the expansion of UGG bot. The proliferation of online sale platform has facilitated the unauthorized use of trademark, hence giving the rise to the challenge pertaining to trademark infringement. The third one is internet has facilitated communication between trademark proprietor and infringer. The dispute involved can ordering Australian manufacturer to stop using UGG in their domain name, underscore the importance of domain name dispute in the digital age. The internet domain registration system brought the issue of the brand-related domain off to the forefront, require timely resolution to maintain the brand integrity. Alright, the last one is the domain registration system of the internet has been presented. Challenge pertaining to domain name that are tied to brand. Next slide. Alright, the question 6. Why is it important for Australian firm to be able to use the name UGG, especially in the term of trade name? Right, the first one is trade and heritage. The third one, consumer recognition. Alright, the first one is tradition and heritage. The term of UGG has a long history in Australia and is associated with generation of boot making tradition. Changing the name could disconnect this firm from their root and heritage. Alright, the second one is consumer and recognition. The name of UGG is well established and recognized globally. Changing the name could lead to confusion among consumers, making it harder to this firm to connect with their customer base. Alright, the third one is brand identity. UGG has become a part of the brand identity for this firm. It communicates their value, quality, and unique offering to customers. Switching to a different name might dilute this identity. The fourth one is competitive advantage. UGG has carried authenticity and history, which can provide this firm with a competitive edge in the market. A different name might not carry the same weight of resonate with consumer in the same way. And the last one is marketing or promotion. This firm has invested significant time and effort in marketing their product under the UGG name. A name change could require them to rebrand and invest in new marketing strategy. Right, that's all.
Alright, for the question 7, which is what was Brian Smith's contribution to the present problem? Is first, they are selling. He is selling UGG's Holding Incorporate to Deckers in 1995. Is the Brian Smith contribution to the current issues? So to protect its licensed trademark, Deckers has recently banned the use of the UGG brand name, and the Australian producer also defends their long-time use of the UGG brand name by saying that UGG is an Australian Aboriginal word for sheepskin footwear. For the Deckers has spent 7 million on advertising over the past decade. So Deckers believe that the Australian factories are using of their hard work by selling UGGs online to satisfy surging demand in other countries. So Deckers has filed a lawsuit against a number of Australian factories, including Tony Motel, West Haven, and Middleton. And Deckers is suing the Australian manufacturers for trademark infringement because they are using the term UGG. Next slide. So question 8, what are Deckers cracking down and why? So first one, why are the Deckers cracking down is because Deckers claim that the Australian manufacturers are trying to cash in on the UGG brand's popularity without contributing anything to its development. Deckers claim that, moreover, they claim that Deckers is attempting to force them out of business despite the fact that they have been using the name UGG for many years. And also, Deckers had sued several Australian producers as well. And in retaliation, Australian manufacturers have sued Deckers themselves back. And that's all for the case study 7. And let's move on to case study 8.
Okay, for the first question is, which innovation strategy did Atari follow in the 1970s? Atari used a method of disruptive innovation in 1970s. In 70s, this implies they came up with a new goods and services that were easier to use, cheaper and more convenient that was already on the market. What is the disruptive innovation strategy? Atari utilized a disruptive innovation strategy that concentrate on keeping costs low and developing goods that were as accessible as feasible. They became available to wider spectrum of customers as a result. Simplified the user experience. Atari make sure that their product was simple to use. This made them approachable for those who had no prior experience with video games. Strengthened with the value proposition. Compared to competing goods and services, Atari offering present a better value proposition. Customer found them more appealing as a result. Question 2. What was Atari business model? How influential that his model has been. Here's some important elements that helped make Atari successful in 1970s and 1980s. Atari was a market innovator in the home video game industry, and its goods were frequently more avant-garde than those of its rival. Atari was a master of marketing, and its goods were frequently highlighted in well-known periodical and television programs. Atari has a strong brand name that was linked with the quality and innovation. Thanks to Atari robust distribution network, its item could be found in shops all over the world. Atari, how, Atari, however, also committed numerous errors that to lead to its collapse in 1990s. As a result, Atari complacency, lack and innovation, its rival to were able to overtake it. Atari management frequently lacked expertise and made bad choices that harmed the business. Financial issues that at Atari made it challenging to spend money on marketing and new product. How is how influential has this model been? Atari continued to be a significant force in the video game business despite its collapse. The business has emerged and is present emphasis on is creating and disseminating mobile games. It's unclear if Atari will be able to recapture its previous glories, but the company has a long history and reputable name that may help its prosper in the future. The video game industry may thank Atari for their groundbreaking business approach. The business model of selling both hardware console and software games, as well as licensing intellectual property, has been widely replicated by other companies. The ability of diversity revenue stream is a key for reason the model success. Next.
Okay, question 3. Who were the entrants to the video game console market in the late 1990s and early 2020s? In the late 90s and 00, several companies entered the video game console market, aiming to capitalize on the growing popularity of gaming. So the entrants are Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sega, NEC, SNK, and Bandai. Question 4. what were the attractions of the video game console market for this new entrance? The video game console market has historically been a highly profitable industry. Second one, demand for gaming consoles has consistently grown over the years. Video game console market offers new entrants the chance to innovate and differentiate themselves from established competitors. The last point is potential for long-term customer loyalty as gamers tend to develop brand preferences and stay loyal to their chosen console ecosystem.
Alright, we continue with question 5. What asset the new entrants possess that facilitate their entry into the video game console market? Right, the first one, allowing a wide range of game developer to create title, such as Sony PlayStation. Innovation was twofold. First, they introduced a 32-byte technology with the PlayStation, a step up from the 6-byte console that were prevalent. This technology advance allow for more sophisticated game with improved graphic and gameplay. The second one, Sony recognized the changing demographic gamer, such as Sony provides third-party software development, allowing a wide range of game developers to create a title for their console. This strategy leads to a diverse library of games, attracting gamers of all age and tastes. Sony collaboration with established media firms such as Disney, CBS, expanded the console appeal beyond the traditional gaming demographic. Second slide. Alright, question 6. Which innovation strategy did Sony follow? The first one is technological advancement and differentiation. Sony recognized the limitation of prevailing 16-bit console and introduced the PlayStation at first 34 game cell. This strategy allow for more sophisticated game with improved graphic and gameplay experience, setting the console apart from its competitors. Alright, the second one is strategic partnership and third-party software development. Sony understood the importance of a diverse game library in attracting a broad audience. They actively encourage third-party game developers to create titles for the PlayStation, resulting in a wide range of gamers. They also recognized that the gaming demographic was evolving just teenagers by supporting third parties, development embracing innovative gameplay. They attracted not only traditional gamers but also young adults. The shift expanded the market potential for their console. The last one is market understanding and business model innovation. Sony innovation strategy was rooted in understanding consumer preference for better graphic, gameplay, and diverse gaming experience. This understanding drove their technological advancement and partnership, ensuring that PlayStation met gamers' evolving expectations. They decide to use CD instead of cartridge, align with changing consumer preference, and allow for a wider range of game content due to larger store capacity. This innovation is the distribution of model influence that the success of PlayStation and appeal to consumer.
Okay, for the question 7, which is why do you think Sony chose this innovation strategy? Is first to set itself apart from its rival and remain competitive in the market. Sony may draw clients that are searching for cutting-edge technology by concentrating on creating novel and cutting-edge items. So Sony is able to preserve its positions as the industry leader and to continue to promote growth and profitability thanks to this approach. And lastly, Sony also can keep ahead of developing trends and also adjust to shifting customer tastes by investing in research and development. So overall, Sony is able to retain its market credibility and relevance thanks to this innovation approach. To next presenter.
The next one is question 8. What was the strategy about Sony's decision to enter the video game market in the late 1990s? The first one is Sony made the strategic choice to enter the video game industry, allowing to the business to capitalize on its strength in consumer electronic and digital media. The 32-bit PlayStation from Sony outperformed the 16-bit console that dominant at the same time. In the terms of graphic and processing power, Sony was able to set itself from other companies and engage more gamers. And the next one, a significant tactical advantage for Sony was its choice to employ CDs rather than cartridge in addition to its hardware capabilities. The next one. Then, what is focus on third-party software development? The next one, by fostering relationship with independent game developers, Sony was able to offer a wide range of high-quality games that appeal to a broad audience. The last one, Sony also catered to changing demographic by offering more sophisticated games that appeal not just to teenagers. Question number 9. What was innovative about Sony's PlayStation? The first one, Sony offered significantly better graphic and processing power than the 16-bit console that then dominated the market. And then Sony decision to use CDs instead of cartridge was a major innovation. And Sony's focus on third-party software development was another innovation. The next one. Okay, the last question, which is draw a diagram to show the application of the theory of punctuated equilibrium to the development of video game console. Okay, the first one, it suggests that the video game industry has experienced periods of rapid change and innovation. And the second one, introduction of 32-bit console in the mid-1990s and the launch of Microsoft Xbox in 2001. And the third one is followed by a period of stability as the dominant players in the industry. The next one, okay, led to the emergence of a new player in the market. And the last one is provide a useful framework for understanding the development of video game consoles.
Alright, that's all for us. So thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Thank you.
Thank you.
wabarakatuh. Thank you.